You're listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shannon Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology coach, and personalized learning coordinator for my district.
And I'm her husband / experimental producer, Fuzz Martin. Hello.
Nice. Hi. By the way, I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, piece or two. Oh, there's 4 this week.
A piece or all of the technology.
27.
Yes.
Because I can't ever. I was working really hard a couple weeks ago. Okay, so like 3 months ago. I was like, yeah, I'm doing really good with just sharing a piece or two and going into more depth with it, guys. Like, yay for me. And I'm like right back where I was. Oh, I've got 12 things to talk about today because I can't pick just 2.
Well, they all go together. And
they're themed and they're fun.
Yeah. And you're going to want to play around with all of these today.
And all of the ones in between.
It's our 88th episode. I feel like we just did the 87th episode recently.
Mm-hmm.
And
I feel like a golden girl now.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
You like Golden Girls? Like
the TV show?
Yeah.
The hit TV show?
88 seems like a good number.
It was probably the year that show was hot, too. It was 88.
Mm-hmm. And they were all like 88.
Yeah. It's all coming together. Has Betty White hit 100 yet? I don't think she has. I think she's 99.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we'll look it up at
Google
some
it
point.
And let you know by the end
I'll
of the
let you know, but yep.
Yeah, so today we are talking about
Chrome.
We're having fun. We're having fun with Chrome experiments because a while back in the little music episode that I did, I was like, hey, here's a couple Chrome experiments. They're super fun to do with your students. They're great for a brain break. They're a great way to introduce music. Well, there's like 80,000 Chrome experiments out there, and if you didn't try them last time, you're going to want to try them this time.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't want to play around with them, or you, like, I get that we don't all have time to sit here and putz on a computer. Like, totally understand. Plus, we are in front of our screens for various things all day long.
Yeah.
But these are, like, fun to throw at your students. Like, this is something where you're like, hey, guys, check out this site. And it would be okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I'm vetting for all, like you can, again, probably vet your own websites for your students in your classroom. But
you know your students.
Most of these are pretty safe to just be like, check this out because they're fun. And
I looked over your shoulder as you were playing with some of them and they're super awesome. And yes.
Yeah.
A couple of them I would recommend your students have their headphones on.
Oh, yes. It's kind of like every Chrome experiment. They need earbuds or headphones.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was going to say, like, April showers bring May flowers. It is April showering like nobody's business this week. And when you're stuck inside because you can't go outside for recess.
Yeah.
These are kind of fun.
There you go. It's like a little indoor on-screen recess for your students.
Yes. And a brain break nonetheless. So, fun with Chrome experiments. And this time around, so Chrome experiments, I guess I should explain. When you go to the Chrome experiment website
repository,
there's like different categories within Chrome experiments, and then from there, there's like all the things. So this week, I pulled them all from one place. So at least if you start trolling around this section, you'll kind of find the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, I picked 4 out of probably 20 to 30 that are in this section.
Okay.
So we may talk about them again. They're so fun.
So we're going to do 20 of them on this episode.
No, I chose 4.
Okay.
I could have chose more. I went with 4.
Okay.
So I tried to narrow it down to give you a variety of things.
Within this category.
So the first one is called Play a Kandinsky.
Oh, Kandinsky, yeah.
So the whole goal, so they take an artist, because these are all themed with Google Arts and Culture.
Okay.
So they take an artist of some format, and then they change them into, they would say, with the assistance of machine learning, they you create art, or it makes art interactive, or there's just all different things to do. So Play Kandinsky really is where you click a shape And then when you click on that shape, it gives you color and music
Okay.
that would connect to that shape.
Sure.
So, like when you load it takes a second. So you have to go to the page, you have to load it. So
Mhm.
there's like some directions you're going to have to give your students till they get the hang of how to do it.
Yeah.
And then like you can click on the circle and then it'll say like blue Kandinsky heard it as an organ. So you can look up the artist, learn the history behind them, so you can
Mhm.
totally do a learning piece with this, and then it becomes an interactive game where then you can click on like the color and shape, and then you like hear the painting, which is so cool. Where you click on different sections of the painting and then you hear the music that the artist would connect with that shape or that section of the painting.
Yeah.
And so it makes art interactive and it's so cool. So you can start from the beginning where you have just the shapes and you just click on them and like what would you hear if you could hear color? What would that be? Like that's the question. So not only is it like interactive and kind of a fun brain break and learning about artists, but it also kind of can pose some big questions to your students and use them for journals or use them for just like class discussion or like out of the box thinking just to get them like if you saw the color red, what would you hear in your brain? Like just
Yeah.
like really getting the kids kind of pushing some inquiry and
Mhm.
just it's cool. So this is the play a Kandinsky, so it's like you're like music connected to the artist and the paintings, and what would that be? So that makes this one interactive, and so I will all the direct links to these will be on smartandwi.com in the EdTech Directory.
Yep.
And link to the podcast because some of them they're not tricky to get to, but you have to go to like the Chrome experiment page and then you got to go to the link and then you got to go to another link to actually get to the Chrome experiment.
Right.
They're not.
A little bit. There's some layers to get there.
Yes, but they're so cool when you get to them. So the first one, play Kandinsky. You get to connect art and music and beyond.
And
what's in
beyond.
front of you thinking.
Yeah.
Like what a cool thing for kids to do.
Mm-hmm.
The
and
second,
a cool way to learn about that artist and the music.
And even producing some art then too. Like they could do a painting or a drawing and then pick a piece of music to go with it. You know, there's just so many different branches you could do, both teaching or again, just a quick brain break, like cool, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
There's just layers in so many different ways you could use it. The second one that I have, it is NASA's Visual Universe.
Okay.
And what it has done is NASA took all of these images and like there's over 127,000 images from NASA taken back from 1915 through now. And then they use the Google Cloud natural language to pull out keywords. And then as you go through it, it takes like sentences and then a word like astronaut, and then it will pull a NASA image of this giant cloud of images and then show you a piece of like a photograph from NASA, and then it leads to another sentence that pulls a keyword to another NASA image that then goes to another keyword. So each of these, it's like a keyword, a natural, because you're not clicking on anything, it just keeps pulling them to you.
Yep.
And so you just keep building on this huge database of NASA images and connecting them to keywords like from rover to astronaut to like shape to sun. There's just so many different things.
It's like a word cloud.
It is, but it just is a naturally evolving word cloud where like it could be an ongoing like piece in your class. If you have this running, students could be like writing reflection or building a story. Like one student writes a story to this piece, to the next piece, to the next piece. They could like, what would you say about this image, or what does this image connect to? And it's on your screen a constant evolving.
Yeah, it's like
you know, like NASA images, and then a sentence that pulls a keyword that connects to another image that pulls a keyword that goes to the next image that pulls a keyword. Like and each one it changes. Like this one now is learn much more about Mars. It zooms in on Mars. It's pulling an image of Mars.
And
it zooms in on that, and then pulls
for me,
another sentence.
It zoomed in on nebula, and it's showing all these different images of nebulas, and it gives the how the photo was taken and what it is, what you're looking at. It tells you what date the photo was taken, and then 650 light years away in the constellation Aquarius, a dead star about the size of the Earth is refusing to fade away peacefully, and it's just really cool.
Yeah, and I just got Let's Rendezvous, and it pulled up all these images of Rendezvous, and then December 11th, 1965, discussing a successful historic rendezvous in space. Like, what a cool way to learn vocab.
Yep. Yeah.
And talk about science topics and look at the history and the change of it. It's so cool. And then you just like click the little red plus button and it will start pulling. It'll show you the vocab right away if you want to see it. You can close that vocab. You can hit pause or move forward and it can roll through. Like, and each student when they log into it would have something totally different.
Yep.
Because it's different for everybody.
Yeah, that's really cool. So that's the NASA's Visual Universe.
Yes.
Chrome experiment.
Yeah. It's so cool. I could sit here and like troll around on these all day. That's the problem.
It would be a cool screensaver.
It would be. Yeah. And what I have a lot of students that are very high interest in like space technology. Like just literally throw it up on your screen and see what's going to happen. Okay. So the next one is what you were really, I think, entertained by over my shoulder. It's called Experiments with Google. Blob Opera.
Blob Opera.
Blob Opera.
Blob
B-L-O-B
Opera.
Opera.
Oh.
And it's so cute. So you have these 4 little blobs that sing in opera voices in like real time. And when you drag the blobs up or down, it changes the pitch of what they're singing. And you see like the different vowel sounds to kind of learn like a little bit of basic like music or like connection with movement and sound. And they're adorable.
They are
like
super
this
cute.
little cartoon. If you've ever seen, I think like Storybots.
Yeah, it looks like Storybots
on Netflix. And they all kind of lined up. And they're all kind of side-eyeing each other. And these like wobbly little colored blobs. And you stretch them out and you make them sing. And they sing whatever you want.
And I think it gives you, does it give you the key that they're in or anything like that?
Yeah, it does give you a little bit of that. And then it also has built-in songs too. So if you really want to watch them go, you can watch them kind of sing their own songs as well.
Yeah, so like pitch A, pitch B.
Yep, you get pitches in there.
G sharp, F, F sharp.
And then understanding like the stretch of like going high versus going low and bass and treble. Like they have those things labeled. And they're so cute and fun just to click around and make them sing. And then it's cute because you can
Did I see some with Santa hats on before?
Yeah, in the bottom right-hand corner, if you click pre-done songs, they have a little like collection.
So, sure.
If you click on that, then they'll sing it for you.
Okay.
Where you just watch them sing.
Kind of neat.
It is pretty cute. And so, again, some music basics, but also just some fun.
Yeah, it's
like,
and it's all like done through machine learning and stuff. It's really neat.
It's
Yeah.
so cute. So anyway, that one's Blob Opera.
And Blob Opera is the coolest name.
And they're little blobs that sing opera.
Yeah, yes.
They're so cute. Okay, so there's so many Chrome experiments. Again, these are all in the Google Arts and Culture section of Chrome.
Yeah, so artsandculture.google.com.
Yes, and then I have one more to share today.
/experiment.
And it is called Puzzle Party. So it's
Puzzle Party.
Yeah, experiments.withgoogle.com/puzzle party. And there's one teacher I need to share this link with off the top of my head right now because she's obsessed with puzzles. But literally they're like famous paintings that have been made into puzzles. and you click if you are like level, like slow, medium, high. You know, like there's 3 levels of puzzle building.
Yep.
And then you can choose if you want to play, like work solo on your puzzle or with people, and you can invite others to your puzzle.
Oh, cool.
Which is cool. I think for those of you that still have virtual students or you still have some at home, you know, like what a way you can still connect kids this way.
Yeah.
And puzzle building to me is very just kind of relaxing and so it gives you the puzzle. It gives you a little piece of art, like this is what it should look like, and then here's your puzzle pieces. And then what it works is with when you're cutting, like clicking and dragging, you can click and drag your pieces individually, or you can move by group. So if you look on the bottom, you do have some tools to use. So if you click move by group, then you can click several pieces together and move them if you have already connected them together.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And then you unclick that to separate them again. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. You can hide the preview picture if you don't want to look at it. And then if you want to invite a partner, it's almost just like a Google Doc where you can send an email, or you can connect it to your Google Classroom.
Nice.
Which I think is so cool because you could drop one of these puzzles into your Google Classroom and then have your students all work on it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's fantastic,
like quick, like start of the day kind of thing. Or like during, again, like an indoor recess, or if you're stuck like brain breaking or study hall or any of that kind of stuff. And they can build puzzles then online of like famous works of art, which I thought was so cool and fun. You're totally building a puzzle right now.
I'm building a puzzle, sorry.
And like watch you like clicking and smiling as you're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Google Arts and Culture Puzzle Party, and it's online puzzles with cool, famous pieces of art, and you can invite others, and it connects to your Google Classroom.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm building a puzzle now, and I'll catch up with you again later.
Yeah, so those are my Chrome experiments for today. Some fun little here on episode 88. I thought that, like, there are some fun things you can play around with, from cool NASA images to some art and music.
Yeah.
To some puzzle building. So, yeah, check them out. I would love to hear how everybody who is all the listeners, how you guys are experimenting with your Google experiments.
Yes.
They're so much fun.
They are fun.
Anyway.
I do this all night long now.
Well, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter @SmartNWI, or if you want to get more information, you can find on the links to the technology discussed in this episode. You can go to smartnwi.com, or on Facebook, I am there as well. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed in this podcast and the Smart and WI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this episode, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we sure hope they do. Betty White turned 99 on January 17th, 2021. We'll talk to you again next time on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.